Full disclosure, I have no clue if this is going to work. Hi friends, Tracy here from the Sewing Channel. If you have a bunch of fall fabric and you want to use it up, this is your tutorial. Grab those fall colors out of your stash. Let's make the fastest quilt ever. Hey, fall is around the corner and we need a fall quilt. Enough talking already. I want to end up with a bunch of 4 patches at the end, but before we can get into that, we need to make our Scrappy block first. Friends, this is Tracy from the future. There's been a quilt debacle. Here's a picture. You definitely need to stick around to see how I fix this one. And yes, I got new glasses and they're red. Now I'll post a video right here of this stack right here. You will need 9 blocks like this, measuring at 25 by 25 inches square. When it comes to these 25-inch square blocks, I want you to think really big. I want it to be really chunky. I used the same color palette that I used in my humble Scrappy HST quilt. I knew that I wanted the main colors like oranges and browns and rusts and all that, and greens. The one color that I added in that's typically not a fall color is that aqua turquoise color. It gives it a lot more interest than just those main fall colors. Once I made the color palette, it was really easy just to grab that color tone or shade that I needed. So I hope that helps you when you go to dig in your fat quarters and yardage and all that. I want the pieces to be chunky because we are going to slice these up into 4 patches. I don't measure anything when I make a Scrappy quilt, only that final block. For reference though, I'm going to give you the measurements on this block right here that I'm going to make. This one is 11.5 by 15.25, and you can see it's just, you know, just a big fall piece of fabric. This piece right here that I start with, it's going to be my center focal of this particular block that I'm going to make right now. And as always, you know I love a Scrappy log cabin look. We are going to go around this block adding pieces to it. This piece is approximately 8.25 by 16 inches, and you can see we're going to lay it right there. What I want to do is attach this piece to here. So we're going to flip this over, line things up, and then we're going to sew a 1/4 inch right there. Once you get these 2 pieces together, you're going to press them. Now I tend to press outward away from the focal fabric the entire quilt. I press after every addition of fabric. I also square things up after that pressing. That's very important if you would like square angle blocks. One of the lines on your ruler you want to line up with the seam that you just sewed together, because that is going to be the straightest anchor point in this block. As long as you trim afterwards, after you've pressed, you should be fine. And plus, hey, it's a Scrappy quilt. Now I want to show you on this particular strip, I didn't measure it or anything, but I did add 2 pieces together because one alone was not going to be long enough to cover this edge. So here you just have to figure out what you want more of. You want to try to stay out of the total center because we're going to be cutting that when we make our 4 patches. So I didn't really watch that on my other blocks, but just keep in mind that that's what we're going to do. The reason why I say to watch that is because we don't want to cut into the seam allowance in order to cut the 4 patch, but I have a feeling that I'm probably going to have to because I really wasn't watching that on the first round. So, oh well. And just like before, we're going to press away from that focal fabric. I forgot to tell you what this piece was. That piece that I just added on here was was longer than what I needed. So I needed, you know, about 20 inches, and it was about 8.5. So 20 by 8.5. That's, you know, I didn't add this in. So just so you know, I'm just going to line up here on that seam because that's going to be the straightest point. This side's close, so we're good there. You can take the time during assembly to attach two pieces together too. So it's however it adds up with what you have. Now we're going to add on this side. This piece is approximately 25 3/4 by about 8 3/4 inch. Flip this over and just sew 1/4 inch. Here I'm going to line up this seam down here and then this seam here, and then also check right there. So this is what we have so far. Now it's time to add another piece. And sew 1/4 inch. So before I trim that last piece though, I'm going to double check here and see where I'm at. So I'm definitely over. So I'm over about 2.5 inches here. So what I'm going to do is just measure across there, and then I'm going to take this marking pencil and mark it at the 25 mark. Now I have all this excess here to cut off because I don't measure anything. I just grab pieces and I cut big pieces and then I add them on. So that's why. So just check to make sure you're as even as you can be. Okay, so let's check this way. Well, actually, let's trim this off first because we know that we have enough going that way. So we have enough going this way. And when you get to this point, you can see here, there's my 25 mark. Do you want to take more of this side off or this side, depending on the width of color that you have? I think I'm going to take more of the red off. So I'm going to mark this. Full disclosure, I have no clue if this is going to work. That's how I do things. I just do them as I go. So if you're with me, you're with me. And if you know, you know. We need to fold this so that we find the exact middle of this block. Make sure that when you fold it and put that memory crease with the iron in it, that the pretty fabric is on the inside. That way when we go to cut down the middle of this, our ruler is going to fall right in the ditch. So you're going to fold in half and then put a memory crease right along the entire edge. You're going to unfold and refold it the opposite way so that that crease that you just made matches up with the other side. We're going to put a memory crease in this side. Open it all up. Find that ditch in one of the centers. Let your ruler just fall right in the ditch, being sure that you're still lined up though. You want to make sure you are as straight as possible. You may be a little off. You're not going to always be perfect, just so you know. I mean, even I'm a little off and, you know, it happens. And slice it. Turn one of the pieces long ways. Find the crease in the center. Let your ruler just fall into the ditch, making sure that you're still straight though on all the end edges. And then do the same thing to the other half. Find the center, let the ruler just fall in the ditch. This is where you can see where you're off. It's okay. No worries, it's a Scrappy quilt. Do not stress over this quilt. It's so fast and so fun. So you end up with these 4 blocks that are totally different. Let me slice up the rest of the stack, and then I'll be back here in a second by the magic of editing, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with these. So I've taken 4 from my pile randomly and just sewed them together. So that's what one big, huge block looks like. Once they're sewn together, they measure approximately a little over 24.5 inches square. This is how I'm going to decide what goes with what. I'm just going to grab from the pile to where I know it wasn't connected, you know, to the one next to it. And let's see this one. And see what looks good together. And which way. I actually think those are too light next to each other, so I'm going to go in and grab another one. Oh yeah. Oh, but that one's in there, but that's okay. So what I'll do is just flip this like so. Line things up and pop a pin right on the side that I'm going to sew and stick it in a pile. Once I have a bunch of pairs together, then I'll sew that through chain stitching, press open, trim anything excess, you know, that may be on there, and then sew those together. I like that. So it may take a few tries around each square to find out what looks good. Now y'all, I am totally not sick, so I'm just hoarse. I don't know why. This happens, you know, once every couple years, so don't think I'm sick because I'm not. So let me get those sewn up. Here's the pile of the 2 blocks that I put together in the pairs. Now we're going to pair up the pile of pairs to the pile of pairs. So you just want to make sure that no 2 fabrics are touching that are alike. I mean, that's my rule anyways. So I don't like these 2 on the same side. There we go. I think that one's going to work. I try all the angles. There we go. So what I'm looking at here are these 2 turquoises that they are kind of opposite each other, and the oranges are opposite. So that's kind of what I'm looking at when I'm pairing these 2 up. I know it's kind of OCD-ish, but you know, it is what it is. So on these, you're going to match up the centers and pop a pin in. Now you might see that things are a bit wonky as far as some are longer than the other, and that's just the way it works out because we cut them down the center and then down the other center, and things just don't always end up from stretching, or you know, or maybe I cut it just a 1/4 of an inch too big, which I think I did, so you know. But that's okay because we'll trim that off and square everything up in the end. So you'll just continue to pair these up. So I will put these 2 together. Yellows, but hey, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So all you're going to do is just sew these up. And you'll open it up, and I've been pressing my seams open where I can because I don't want a lot of bulk in this quilt. Didn't open the seams on the original blocks when I first started connecting everything, but as I'm connecting and sewing the 4 patch on, I am opening, and even when I paired them up, I did. So this block here is about 24.5 inches square. And this one here was roughly 24 3/4 inches square. So if the 24.5 is my smallest block, then I will need to trim down all of the blocks at 24.5. So I'm going to wait to trim these and see what I have in the end. Let me make up all of these blocks and then we'll see what we have. Once I sew all these up and press the seams open, then it's time to put it up on my design wall and rearrange them the way that I want them to be seen on this quilt. So here is all of the blocks sewn together as 4 patches. So I have 3 on the top, 3 in the center, and 3 on the bottom. So 9 big blocks all together, roughly 24¼ inches square is what I'm going to have to take them down to. I love how scrappy it is. The next thing I'm going to do is add some borders and connect everything together, and we'll see at the end for the final review. Free motion quilting, a simple meander, is the fastest way to a finished quilt. And it's super easy. It's the easiest one there is. Take a look at the back here on this flannel with the tiny hearts. So cute. I was so into quilting this that I had a big oopsie. I ran right over the back of this quilt. Check it out. Oh my word. Something always happens, doesn't it? Luckily for me, this is an easy fix because it's right on the edge. What you want to do is find those outer edge stitches where you stitched the edge of the backing on. Start to unpick there and then just keep pulling it up and unpicking until it is totally free. Be sure though to remove all of the loose threads because you don't want to tuck anything else back under there. Tell me in the comments if you've come across this same quilting debacle. And as you can see here, no one will ever know. To switch things up a bit, I ended up free motion quilting some big paisleys on both borders. I don't go into great detail on how I square up a quilt and do the binding in this video, but my last handful of videos on my quilts, I have gone into great detail, so you might want to check those out if you need more info. For those of you wondering, I did have a flannel backing for this quilt, and I also did a flannel binding. And you, my friends, can do this in one weekend. I promise you, it's that easy. If this doesn't say fall, then I don't know fall. I'm loving the flannel backing for sure. Oh my word, it's so soft. I definitely will do the flannel backing and the flannel binding again. I love how soft it is, especially during fall time. I've handpicked special videos just for you. They're on your screen right now. Click on one of them so we can keep learning together. Until next time on the Sewing Channel, take care.